All right. Good morning to everyone this Friday morning.
Not a good morning. Eric's texting me. He's like, Are you coming on the show? Full disclosure, I got here in the studio like 12 seconds ago. So sorry about that, Eric.
It's
Some days you wake up with your pillow and you don't want to let go.
Sorry, man, it's all good. But hey, everyone, thank you for watching it here Friday morning. Giant Sports Talk Live morning edition. No Giants game to recap from yesterday for the simple
Thank
fact.
God.
Well, there was no game, but there was a little bit of news in Seattle. Seattle fired their manager and hitting coach. Dan Wilson has taken over the reins as manager. Sounds like Edgar Martinez is going to be possibly the hitting coach for the Seattle Mariners. So
who they are? Dan? Who's their coach? Or who did they hire? Dan?
Wasn't it Dan Wilson, right?
Oh, Dan Wilson, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Dan Wilson. He was a former player. He's beloved up there.
Yeah, so we'll see how that works out. Is that going to energize the club, or is that going to maybe create, issues where they continue to sink because they haven't been playing that good lately? But they still have a fantastic pitching staff. Anyway, so I guess we could get right into what the game's going to consist of tonight, Glenn. They're over in it's still Safeco, right? They haven't changed that name, have they? Is it still Safeco?
Eric, I'm sorry. You're behind the times. It's now T-Mobile Park.
Oh, there you go, Steve. T-Mobile Park. There you go, man.
T-Mobile Park tonight. The game is actually going to be broadcast on the MLB Network as well as NBC Bay Area for all our local friends here in San Francisco, Oakland. And the game, of course, on 680 KNBR, your source for radio sports. The Giants are 65-64. The Mariners at 500, 64 apiece, wins, losses. Hayden Birdsong, he gets the start. 3-3, 5 ERA, 5.01. So we'll call it 5. Luis Castillo is 10-12 with a 3.51 ERA. Don't let that mark of 10-12 fool you, nor the 3.51 ERA, because statistically, Eric, last night on Giant Sports Talk Live, we took a deep dive into the stats of the Mariners. They have the greatest pitching staff. Everybody was saying Giants have the best pitching staff. Actually, the Seattle Mariners have the number one pitching staff heading into this series and in baseball.
Yes. So that's one of the issues with the Giants. The hitting has been inconsistent. That's what I've been saying the whole year. They're just inconsistent. So we'll see how they do against some really good pitching. But then again, Mariners, they can't hit for licking. They can't hit very well. They're kind of similar in the Giants and not being able to hit very well. So we'll see how that turns out tonight. Should be
so. In other words, you're saying whoever really craps the bed tonight might lose.
Yeah. There you go. Exactly. And it could be low scoring. It could be a whole
pitching. So we're going up against a number one pitching staff with a guy who spent like a month in the majors.
Yeah. And we'll see how Birdsong does. His last outing was okay. It was okay. The two before that were pretty bad. Let's see which Hayden Birdsong that we get tonight. So it should be interesting.
Well, I just woke up like 3 minutes ago, full disclosure, Eric. So you bring up the stats. I don't even have my homework done this morning.
All right, here we go. I'll bring up the stats for what is on the schedule today in Major League Baseball. Here we go. Starting off.
You take it.
Look at that. They're all going to be later afternoon games. How about that? Cincinnati at Pittsburgh. Going to have Andrew Abbott, the lefty, for Cincinnati, going up against Bailey Falter. Never heard of Bailey Falter, but you'll be able to catch that game on Apple TV Plus. Again,
well, you can catch it there if you find it. I can find it, Eric. Where the heck? I always have a hard. Maybe it's my age. I can't find Apple TV Plus anyway. Giants are on there. I can never. It's the 8th inning before somebody has to tell me to score. All right, Colorado's at New York. That game will feature Kyle Freeland for Colorado. My God, Eric. Carlos Rodon is 13-8.
Yeah.
Colorado at the Bronx, taking on the Yankees. That one goes down this afternoon at 4:05 Pacific time. So that's an early evening start over there in New York. Now, the team I just hate, you can take this one.
There you go.
We're on the road this weekend.
Hey, back to Carlos Rodon. What's his ERA by chance? I know he's got 13 wins, but what's his ERA?
4.34.
There you go. The reason why he's got 13 wins is because he's got a lineup that can put a lot of runs on the board. So he has some room for error. So don't let those, as you said, don't let those wins-loss fool you, because a 430 something isn't great. But when you have a lineup with Soto and Stanton and Judge.
Monsters. Yeah, a little room for error there, Eric.
Absolutely. All right, in Baltimore, you got Houston facing off against the Baltimore Orioles. This one is going to be on the MLB Network. Start time 4:05 p.m. Pacific. Hunter Brown versus Cade Povich. Never heard of Cade Povich. Heard of Hunter Brown. We'll see how that transpires in Baltimore.
Geez, for once, I wish I had taken the Houston game. Houston's at Baltimore. Look what I got to deal with early in the morning, Eric.
Yeah, you try to pronounce that.
LA is in Toronto tonight. And it is Jack Koshawowski, somebody. Jack is going to be on the hill. Jack and Jill heading to the game to see Jack and Chris Bassett for the Blue Jays, 9 and 12. It's a good thing his name is on the screen. I'll just say, there it is. There's the pitching matchup with tickets as low as $8. I'll call him Koshanowitz.
I would say
Koshanowitz.
Kachanowitz.
Oh, come on. Why did I get that one today? Did you?
Come on, Kachanowitz.
I wish
at least it's not.
You take the first game.
At least
all
it's
right,
not
that's the
clarity.
matchup. That's the only game in Canada. The only remaining Toronto team is the only Canadian teams in Toronto. There you go. Let's move on.
And we got Arizona at Boston. That's going to be a tough series for Arizona. They've been on some winning ways. It's going to be tough. It's going to be in Boston, 4:10 on MLB Network. You got Ryan Nelson going up against Brian Bello. Should be an interesting game. Boston's been playing well. Arizona's been playing well. So we'll see how that game transpires over there in Boston. Should be fun.
There's a game tonight at Lone Depot Park. Kyle Hendricks, he's 3 and 10. Another reason why, Eric, I don't understand the statistical background of baseball. When you look at Kyle Hendricks on that Chicago Cub team, 3 and 10 with an ERA of 6.35. He's up against a 3-3 pitcher, 5.58 ERA, Max Meyer. I would still hazard a guess. Let me take a quick peek. It's worth noting. Yeah, despite a record of 3 and 10 with a 6.35 ERA, Kyle Hendricks, he's the favorite tonight. Cubs are favored to win, according to Las Vegas odds. I'm not surprised. Cubs are in Miami.
Wow. Then you got Texas Rangers at Cleveland playing the Guardians. Got Nathan Eovaldi versus Tanner Beebe. Is it Bibee or Beebe? I'm not sure. It's Beebe. Okay, fair enough. We'll go with that. Should be a good game. Actually, maybe not. Texas Rangers have been they're not the same team as they were last year. You know, they've been wrecked with injuries, similar to Atlanta, except Atlanta's been doing well. That's the next game you're going to cover. But you got Texas Rangers at Cleveland for an afternoon start, Pacific. And we'll see how that works out. Again, Cleveland, I'm sure, yep, they're favored, aren't they? There they are.
Slightly, just a slight favorite. As are the Atlanta Braves. They're a 70% favorite against Washington. Even though they've been injured, look who's pitching. It's
there you go.
14 and 3. He's well on his way, I believe, to winning the Cy Young. 2.62 his ERA. Mackenzie Gore, 7-11 for Washington. That game is at Truist Park, and it will get underway at 4:20. Here's a great one for you, Eric. Oh, no. Boy.
Yeah, that looks like who cares? Detroit Tigers, Chicago White Sox, 5:10 p.m. Pacific. Kiter and Montero versus Cliff Flexen.
Snooze fest there.
Yeah.
Always a great day for baseball in Kansas City. Tonight at 5:10, the Cardinals, I believe, make that the Philadelphia Phillies. They're in Kansas City. Taijuan Walker, he's 3 and 4 up against Michael Wacha. That guy is ageless. He's still pitching. Now he wears the blue and white for the Royals. Michael Wacha, 10 and 6. Kauffman Stadium, where it's always a great day for baseball.
Yeah, looks like they got the line for Kansas City, barely, like you said. Look at that over-under, 9.5. They're expecting a lot of runs to be scored. St. Louis, that's going to be tough going against Minnesota. Good news for the Giants because St. Louis is right on the heels of the Giants as far as the wild card hunt is concerned. That one's going to be on Apple TV Plus. You're going to have Andre Palante going for St. Louis and David Festa for the Minnesota Twins. Looks like Minnesota's favored right now. We'll see how that turns out. But St. Louis has been playing some decent ball, but going against Minnesota is going to be tough.
Yeah. Oakland over in the East Bay. Oakland A's go up against Milwaukee That is such a crap game. Look, nobody even wants to cover that one on TV. Aaron Savali pitches for Milwaukee. JP Sears again for the Oakland A's. Surprisingly, it says tickets as low as $21. I've been over to the East Bay recently, Eric, to an Oakland A's game at the Coliseum. Let me tell you, you can get in a heck of a lot cheaper than $21. Play your cards right, you get in for a couple of bucks. Milwaukee, they're in a playoff run up against Oakland. That one at 6:40 tonight here in the Bay. But there's a real good one you're going to tackle, and that one's down the coast in San Diego tonight, Eric.
Yeah, last night we were covering it a little bit because it was a close game. When we tuned in, it was 3-0, the Mets over the Padres, but then the Mets blew it open. I think it was in the 8th or the 9th inning. It's somewhere on that. They wound up putting on another 5 runs. So Mets handily destroyed the Padres last night. Let's see what tonight will bring. You got Paul Blackburn going for the New York Mets, the guy that they traded for at the trade deadline. Going up against Joe Musgrove for the Padres. Should be an interesting game. Again, New York just ahead of the Giants. They're on the heels of the Atlanta Braves since they're in that 4th position trying to get into the wild card picture.
Yeah, and that one's at Petco Park with Joe Musgrove 3-4. I think he's a better pitcher than that, Eric. I think he's
he was battling injuries.
By injuries, that's right. And Paul Blackburn, as you mentioned, 5-3. So that's going to be one to along with the Giants game tonight. One of the ones I'm really following the Mets. I said on last night's show, Eric, that even though Major League Baseball is letting a few more teams in, and sometimes people don't like the abundance of postseason teams, certainly has set up a lot of excitement for you and I on our Giant Sports Talk Live each night, taking a look at the standings, the out-of-town scores, games in progress, what could be meaningless. At this point of the season, there's still meaning for some teams. And even though the Giants have a pretty much slim to none chance of making the postseason, we're not officially mathematically eliminated, so we still got something to root for. Yep. We're going to talk about the game tonight. Once again, off the back end, San Francisco at Seattle, but I will tell you, Tampa Bay, they are in Los Angeles tonight at Chavez Ravine, a 7:10 start. That one will feature a pitching matchup of Bobby Miller, toeing the rubber, 1-3. He was a victim of severe injuries this year, missed a lot of time. His ERA, Eric, I want to hazard a guess at his ERA. Bobby Miller.
Oh my gosh. What? It's probably over 5, isn't it?
He's 1-3 and pitching for the Dodgers. I mean, you can win games even though you're shellacked, but he's got an ERA of over 8. Oh,
well, that's why. There you go. Even with the lineup of the Dodgers, if you're giving 8 runs, come on, man.
Tyler Alexander, he's 5-3, 5.17 ERA. We're not talking about world beaters when it comes to pitching matchups, but that one, Alexander and Miller tonight, Dodger Stadium. That one will be broadcast on the MLB Network. I have decided not to take the road trip up the coast tonight. I will be at home in my studio getting ready for Giant Sports Talk Live, watching the game on the Root Sports Network from Seattle, Eric. You're going to be watching or perhaps listening on KNBR. The Giants, as mentioned off the top, Birdsong versus Castillo. What are you expecting this weekend? Tough series. What do you think is going to happen, Eric?
I don't know. It's all going to be dependent on if that lineup can they do more than just hit a home run. You know, do they have that situational hitting? Do they have getting that key hit with runners in scoring position? So far, the answer is no. Here we are, August 23rd.
Yeah.
And come on. The Giants need to figure out how to score runs rather than just always hitting that long ball, because that's not going to get it done. Hayden Birdsong, that's going to be a question mark. What's Hayden Birdsong are you going to get? Are you going to get the guy that you pitched in Oakland, which he did an okay job. He kept the Giants in it. But you're also going up against Luis Castillo. That guy is pretty good. So don't let that win-loss record fool you. He's got a decent ERA. He's 3.5, somewhere around there. Yeah, and you're playing in their home.
Best pitching staff at home. We got one of the worst records on the road, Eric. It all just spells defeat to me. But you never know. That's why we play the game. 9 innings of ball coming up tonight. And just to see how well Eric pays attention. Yeah. Where are they playing tonight? In Seattle?
Yeah, they're playing in T-Mobile Park. How about that?
You remembered?
I remembered. Can you
I
believe
think
it?
you wrote it down. All right, quick look before we sign off this morning. What is the standings looking like heading into
Here we
weekend?
go. In the National League, you got the Diamondbacks leading the first wild card position. San Diego in the second. Atlanta Braves still holding on to that third. You got the New York Mets now with that win from last night. You know, when we were watching, it was at 2. Now it's at 1.5. Giants are still 4 games out of the third wild card. Well, like we said, it's actually 5 if it's going to be the Braves, for the simple fact that they own the tiebreaker. St. Louis Cardinals only 5, Cubs 5.5. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 teams battling it out for only 3 wild card positions, and let's see how it transpires here in the stretch.
Eric, I know we don't usually do this in the morning show. We usually talk about it during Giant Sports Talk Live. But we got some viewers who pop in on their way to work. They're getting up and at it to start their day. Maybe they don't get a chance to sign in to Giant Sports Talk Live. One of the things is you and I are going to be at the ballpark on September 1st for the Marlins and the Giants. Hope we'll come on out to that. And as well, we've got a new channel that'll be making its debut in September. And this morning, I want to thank Rob. Rob, we got your email. Rob is interested in hosting a show and joining the stable of talent we have at the new network coming real soon. And if anybody wasn't with us, maybe we can just let them know a little bit this morning, Eric, about what the new channel will entail.
Absolutely. Here we go.
Coming soon, Northern California's newest home for the best sports coverage. The evolution of Bay Area sports. The Golden State Warriors, San Francisco Giants, San Jose Sharks, the 49ers, sports commentary, and more. Start your day and end your day with the Bay Area's best sports coverage. All sports, all year long. Coming soon on Northern Lights Entertainment Production.
Look at those logos, 4 teams and more. And of course, we'll continue to cover the Giants here on Giant Sports Talk Live and over on the new channel coming soon. So, Rob, thank you for reaching out to us. I've got Rob's information here. I'm going to be reaching out to him over the next 3-4 days, maybe first of the week. So hang in there, Rob. If you're viewing again this morning, we got your email, and we'll be reaching out to you. You want to do a little NFL football show. We'll greet you in to our channel. Where, Eric, you never have to pay.
Nope, not here.
You don't have to pay to play here. Come on in. Everybody's welcome. We're back with Giants Sports Talk Live right after the final pitch of the Giants and Mariners, the weekend, Eric.
It's upon us.
It's here. Let the weekend begin. I'll see you tonight, Eric.
See you tonight, Glenn, and we'll see the rest of you guys in the chat tonight. Oh, actually, it's not going to be 8 o'clock. It's going to be closer to like maybe 10.
Late
somewhere
night.
around there. Yeah, it's going to be a late night.
I'll still be up.
Yep, we'll still be up. Absolutely.
Bye, Mom.
All right, guys. We'll see you tonight. Woo!